Arizona's about to get hot. And I'm not just talking about the weather.
Next mission team now.
What's shaking, Warfighter Nation? Ron here with Warfighter Ranch and Isaiah 6:8. Today's headspace and timing is a little bit different. Just my thoughts on recent events, things that have come up, and these are the things that are really weighing on my heart these days. Most Americans have been asleep at the wheel for decades. Yep, I said it. And I mean it when I say it, because clearly we wouldn't be experiencing several of these key issues we do today had they been staved off in their infancy. Our founding fathers didn't have ideas, they had ideals for which they were not willing to compromise, up to and including their lives. Yes, I'm quite certain I've heard that somewhere before. While this may sound cliche to some, over 20 million plus Americans that comprise the Warfighter Nation know better than to believe these fairy tales. We believe in each other, the warfighter to their left and right, because at the end of the day, God isn't asking you to put your latte down and pick up a rifle. He's asking you to pray and be indeed grateful for the bountiful blessings under everything that we call America. The American warfighter is acutely aware of how fragile and delicate that peace really is. I don't say these things to be prideful or boastful, but through the filter of seeing freedom, even at its most raw at times. Peace, at its very essence, is humanity at our finest hour. There's no pride in me saying this, but simply a matter of stating a fact. And that's that for those who have fought for it, freedom has a flavor the protected will never know. And before anybody gets their panties in a wad over what I'm saying, just know that being a combat veteran doesn't make me any better or any less than any of you. It just helped make me better than what I was. That being said, we hope that most of you know that the liberal media is lying to you. There's a deliberate and intentional crafted message designed to elicit a certain response. They're playing on your feelings. The Bible tells us that our feelings will betray us. And clearly they do. As far as the media, who does this? Yeah, Bram Resnick, I'm talking to you. Now, in all fairness, they may get things right every now and then, like what day it is, what the date might be. But I wouldn't bet my sweet tea on any of it from any of them. The Bible tells us to call it out in the marketplace. Well, as I, a Christian conservative, live here in Arizona, in the Valley of the Sun, I definitely have an opinion on this. Buckle up, Buttercup. Since before early November, things have been real shady around here. Everyone knows it, including the media. But for some reason, instead of being biased and impartial and protecting even their own interests in civil liberties, they seem to not only be perfectly fine with being subjugated, but even go to the point of trying to convince us of how comfortable that noose really is. If you know anything about me, and probably very similar to you, I'm just not buying it. For all you warmongering conspiracy theorists out there, I got to tell you, people ask me all the time, Ron, do you think there's going to be another civil war? Negative. No, I don't. We're better than that. And times have changed. What I do see is perhaps a second American Revolution. Here's what I mean. I'm not actually talking about gunfights in the streets because we're no longer a country in our infancy. Compared to the rest of the world, we're probably nearing the toddler stage as far as our age in years goes. As a matter of fact, a lot of Americans are acting like toddlers these days. It's sad because the eyes of the world are definitely upon us these days, especially here in Arizona. What I don't think folks outside of our little piece of desert paradise here get a glimpse of is how crooked the politicians really are here. Yeah, I'm most definitely talking to you, Katie Hobbs. And don't even get me started on the rhinos. You see, the rhino sees him or herself not as a rhino, but a fairy dust wielding, potato head mentality, majestic freedom unicorn. Somewhere in the recesses of their dysfunctional, small minds, they see themselves as rogues, agents of a higher calling. Oh my. Not gonna lie, Judas comes to mind. As some of you know, we recently attended the Faith, Family, and Fight conference here this weekend, and we heard a plethora of amazing speakers. People who are not afraid to get their hands dirty, people who are not afraid to get their reputations called into question. And you know what? This is some of the most intense integrity I've seen in people since I left the military. If you know me, you know that I'm pretty careful about who I associate myself with. I didn't always. Look where it got me. But that's all different now. Warfighter Nation, if I could write the script, if you could write the script and create an entire civilian character based on the warfighter ethos, heart, drive, and tenacity, you know, our kind of people, if you could do that, I mean, it would be these people. It would be these amazing speakers. Media legend Carrie Lake, whose faith would not allow her to continue to be part of the mainstream media machine. I've seen some incredible bravery and people put everything on the line. And you know what? We're not out of this fight. And for those out there who just don't feel like faith and politics should mix, I'll just refer you to Jesus and Pontius Pilate. If you're not standing for what you believe in by now, your willingness to be subjugated is already showing. It's time to stand up and stand out, speak up and speak out, show up and show out, and never give up, not even when we're slap out. So yeah, I do believe we have a lot of work to do to secure our nation again. It's almost like taking Ramadi and then Ramadi falling and then taking Ramadi back again. It's an ugly flow. We know how this works, and it doesn't end well. We need to do this right, and we need to do it now. You wanted a purpose, you wanted a mission, you wanted to get engaged. Next mission time now. For those skeptical and who may be thinking, wow, it's too big, it's too impossible, this is too monumental a task to take on by yourself, you're right. But we've never done anything by ourselves. We always did it together. And you know what we did? We always won. Let me be clear. I don't think it's impossible, because nothing's impossible with God. And to all of you who are already starting to fill out on your mobile app, your hurt feelings reports, let me be clear on this. I'm not calling for any sort of armed insurrection. As a ministry, we would never condone violence. But what I am asking all of you to do is join in the fight and pray. We need a prayer army behind us here in Arizona right now. We absolutely do. We've got family and friends who are involved in the audit, and patriots all, every single one of them. I'm asking you to join us and pray, please. My call to action is this. I will now leave you with the words of William Shakespeare from Henry V. The first time I heard the St. Crispin's Day speech in my entire life was at the Mogadishu airfield on October 6, 1993. It cut deeply into my soul that day, and I realized something then and there about all those who could have or wanted to be in the fight. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers. For he today that sheds blood with me shall be my brother. Be he never so vile, this day shall gentle his condition. And gentlemen in England now abed, that's the modern day couch, shall think themselves cursed they were not here and hold their manhoods cheap. Cheap whiles any speaks that fought and died with us this day. Well, what do you think of today's message? Let's hear it. Drop in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We aim to be a voice of faith, freedom, and family. The things that built this country. We love you. God bless.